Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video we have this 2022 Mazda 3 and we're going to do the side chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before doing the installation on the Mazda 3 hatchback, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material, that way it gives the vehicle a different look. If you like the product, link for the product will be in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before starting with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the panel. So to prep it, you could wash the vehicle beforehand. Just make sure if you do wash the vehicle that the panel is completely dry. Another option would be using a spray bottle, filling it up with water and adding baby shampoo. And once you have your solution, spray it onto your microfiber towel and clean off the contaminants that the panel may have. And then once you're done cleaning all of the contaminants, just make sure that the panel is completely dry, because if there's still water on the panel or even underneath the panel and it touches the adhesive on the film will stop working and it's not going to tack down even if you apply heat. So you need to make sure that the whole panel is completely dry. And then once you're done cleaning the panel, we can start with the installation. So once the panel is prepped and ready to go, we can start with the installation. So with this one, align the film right to the edge of the panel here. So align it right there and use the bottom half as the guide in order to align the film. And remember, if you need to lift it, you can. Just lift it carefully to readjust it. And it should just follow along here up to the edge. And make sure it's covering all of the chrome. And then we'll start here. So with this piece, like I said, if you need to readjust it and lift it, just lift it carefully. Grab your squeegee, start tacking this whole section down. With this piece here, you could tuck in the film just a little bit in order to cover the chrome that's on this panel on the inside here. So just take your time in tacking down this section. And then once we're done tacking down everything, we would come back on this side and trim off the extra material. We would probably have to open the door on the vehicle so we could have more better access, trimming off the material here and also underneath here. But for now, just finish off tacking down the rest, and then once we finish tacking down everything, we'll come back and trim off everything. Okay, so just continue where you left off and tuck in the film and just remove all that excess material. And now we can move on to trimming off everything. So just remember, find the gap between the chrome and the rubber gasket, and that's where you would trim off that excess material. To find the gap, trim it off. Trim it off on this side. And you would just do the same on the edge here. Open the door, the gap between it, and just trim it off. And then the next thing would be applying heat. That way we help the adhesive on the film activate faster, and that'll help the film tack down to the panel as well. And anywhere where the film is still lifting, applying heat there will help it tack down. And then you just, once you're done here, you move on to the next piece. Okay, now move on to this one. Okay, so for this piece here, you can start by aligning it on this section here. So there's a small cutout where the chrome panel is at that separates this piece with this one. So you could overlap the film just a bit, but later we'll trim it off. And then you just follow the alignment of the panel. And just use the lower half of the panel as the guide in order to align it. And then this excess material, you could trim it off afterwards. So just tack down, squeegee everything. And it's just the same steps that we do with this one. Once we tack it down, trim off everything, and then add heat, and then move on with the last piece. For this one, there's a gap right here. Find the gap and trim it off. And same for the top. Find the gap between the chrome and the rubber gasket, and that's where you would trim it off. And also trim it off on this edge here. So just find that small gap. You give yourself a little bit of excess material just so it covers most of it. That's pretty much it. And then apply heat to seal the whole film down. Okay, and now we can move on to the last piece here. So for this last piece, I recommend starting from the tip here. That way you have a good amount of material to cover this curve here, and then just follow along with the rest of the design. So cover everything, and it should have coverage here, and then just align it to the bottom. It should be like this. And now all we're doing is just applying heat around this curved area and here as well. That way we help the film mold to this curve here. Once we help it tack down, then we trim off all that excess material. Remove any air bubbles behind the film, and then start applying heat. And now we could trim off the excess material. Just be careful to not accidentally cut off too much that you expose the chrome. You just want to trim off enough where it covers everything. So the last thing to do once you finish installing the whole Chrome Delete onto the panel is post heating. So to post heat, just apply heat all around the film. That way we help the adhesive on the film activate faster, and anywhere where the film is still lifting, we use heat all around that area too, so the film could tack down. And then once you're done with this step, you're done with the installation. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the side Chrome Deletes for the 2022 Mazda 3. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.